It has.
Yes, it has.
How, I've just got a question. I mean, that's obviously y'all's decision, but if you all do away with the HR committee, how would that, who would take that over? Just the whole council or?
Well, your committee should be dealing with a lot of your issues. And then if we see a need, my thought was it doesn't meet all. So if we have a need, say we want to review benefits, or want to review something of importance, similar to that for employees, we'll select it, do a select committee. Just create a committee, solve the problem, committee disbands again. But that's entirely up to the council. I have no strong feeling, I just think, I was just wanting to streamline our committees.
Well, for myself, there have been issues and times that come up, HR questions, that I've been able to call Bill as the chairman of the committee and just tell him what was going on, and him be able to find out and get back with me, as opposed to having to get 3 committee members together and have a meeting on
Well,
it.
to be honest, you're supposed to have 3 committee members for anything. You can't have a HR committee without a committee.
No, it's just answers on items such as.
Yeah, just,
Orders or whatever,
right.
where to talk to, things like that.
That should be clerk anyhow.
And that may be where it goes through too.
That way the clerk's in fully involved. She's that office, the office of the clerk.
Right, right.
But again, I don't have a strong feeling. I just want you all to give me guidance.
Well,
I'll do whatever.
One of the things that we've got going on right now is we're looking at trying to expand the hours in the front in City Hall right now. And I know these have been, you know, when I ask why we have the hours that we have, it's always been because that's the way it's always been. But when I moved here 42 years ago, whatever, I could not understand why you could not get into City Hall over the lunch hour. I mean, if you work a job 8 to 5, it's pretty doggone tough to get into City Hall. So Brenda and I have been discussing changing the hours a little bit, and we're gonna talk more with the employees, but looking at possibly staying open later some nights a week, or staying open during the lunch hour. And I'd like to kind of finish that item up right there before we, and I guess we could without the committee, doesn't make any difference, but the committee's all aware that we're going through this.
And one thing I do have a plan to do, and not to cut your discussion off, but it adds to it. We know the clerks will be retiring soon, you know, within soon.
A couple of decades.
But I was wanting to appoint a committee to review the entire clerk's office and see if this is the status quo, or do we want to revise it to better shape the current environment our town's in.
Also, per our discussion, we're looking at moving Jan across the hallway.
It's already been done.
It's already done,
Right there.
Well, I kind of want to make it official then.
Oh.
Okay, so that it's gave her the opportunity to spread things out and all that, so I knew that had been worked on, but that's the kind of projects we are dealing with right now. I don't know, I'd like any feedback from from the council on the change of hours too. I would appreciate that. I just think it's not public friendly, and this would be one way to make it public friendly.
My understanding is that the clerk's office reports to the council, is that correct?
Well,
So
actually,
is that
no.
something, no?
No. On July of 2021, it was voted on that the City Hall Administration Department falls under the Human Resources Committee. And that's the way it's been since July of 21. So kind of created some issues for us with some of the changes that got made the other day.
I just feel like the whole council might have some input on the hours, and, you know,
I agree.
why we would want to change it, has there been complaints, or, you know, how to best manage that?
That's why we're talking right now. I agree.
Are you looking to resolve that tonight, or?
No, we don't have to resolve anything tonight. But I think it's an accepted format so far. I want to.
So is the committee going to make a recommendation to the council for approval, or are you all going to decide on your own?
I would prefer to come through the council for everything with the recommendation, but we haven't done that with fire department, we haven't done it with street department, we haven't done it with any of the other departments. So, but I still think that would be the best way to do it. I think anytime we can get the entire council agrees to it, that's what we should do.
Well, we can let it stew. We can stew on it, bring it back up next meeting if you'd like to do that.
Sounds great.
Um,
Sounds great.
y'all kind of just reassess and
All right.
put it next meeting.
That's the first time I heard about
Right.
it.
Yeah, I didn't know about the hours and
Yeah,
things
that's
like
what
that.
I'm
That's-
bringing up. I just think that if we can make something easier for the public, that's what we should do. And it would be something that's doable, we believe.
How's that gonna affect their hours, if they're working through lunch and they're staying an extra hour?
Well, they're not going to, we're gonna have to split it up. It would be somebody go lunch from 11 to 12:30, somebody else from 12:30 to 1. We've discussed possibly have somebody work from 8 to 6 and then take Friday afternoon off to make up for it, things like that. So we're still looking at those type of items.
Mr. Palmer, I don't think at the time, this current time, now when permits get here, it's gonna be a different story. But currently, the walk-in traffic is pretty minimal as far as walk-in, except for Fridays. I think we get a little bit more looking for permits, yard sale permits.
Right.
But again, when the permits get here, it's a different ballgame. You know, we're more public access.
I think everybody's used to status quo though, so I think that's it. I wanted to consider it.
Yeah.
That's all. Talk about it, think about it, and we'll finish the conversation on it later. Okay.
Anything else? Could we go ahead and approve the committees? The only change, Mr. Young, his first pick was police or fire. He's on the police committee. And then also, I like for him to be on the industrial committee. Not the finance committee, but the industrial committee. With his background, it'd be silly not to include him on the industrial committee. So, I would love to have a motion to approve the current department committees, and we can move forward into discussion on the other two next meeting.
I'll make a motion.
Motion, second, discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. And guys and gals, I appreciate the work you all put in last year. I really do. That's why I want to keep everything as close to the same as we possibly could. We've done really good the past year, worked well. So sincerely, I want to say thank you to you all. Yes, ma'am. All right, we'll move into new business. We're going to read it, approve ordinance, adopting code.
First, y'all have a copy. First reading is an ordinance adopting and enacting the new code of ordinances of the city of Kennett, county of Duncan, state of Missouri, establishing the same, providing for the repeal of certain ordinances not included therein, except as herein expressly provided for the manner of amending such code of ordinances, providing penalty for the violation thereof, and providing when this ordinance shall become effective. What this is we do this every year and a half, 2 years. We have all of our ordinances are codified, that means they're in the book, and they all have section numbers, and they're all codified by general code. Every year and a half, 2 years, we go through everything that's been passed by the council to put it where it needs to be in the code. And also, general code goes through and updates anything to conform, that doesn't conform with state law, so that it conforms with state law. So once that's been done, it then needs to be approved by the council.
Do we have a motion to approve?
Motion.
Motion. We have a second?
Second.
We have a second.
And I'll also add that what goes into the code has already been approved by the council. So this is just approving the codification, but what goes into the code has already been approved. So the individual ordinances and changes and statutes and things like that, that's already been approved. This is just the codification. Second reading, an ordinance adopted.
We didn't vote on it.
Well, then you shouldn't.
Comments? All in favor say aye. All opposed? Motion passes.
No, we're not ready again.
Okay, second bill. An ordinance adopting and enacting the new code of ordinances of the city of Kennett, county of Dublin, state of Missouri, establishing the same, providing for the repeal of certain ordinances not included therein, except as herein expressly provided, providing for the manner of amending such code of ordinances, providing penalty for the violation thereof, and provided when this ordinance shall become effective.
This is an ordinance vote, so we'll have to have a roll call vote. We'll start with Mr. Young, your first roll call.
Yes.
Aye.
Yes.
Oh, we have to have a motion first.
Yeah.
That's why I'm sitting there. Mr. Young, what's your motion? You want to do the motion?
I'll make the motion.
All right, we got a
Your
motion.
first motion.
Yes, we have a second.
Yeah, I'll second it.
We got a second, right there in the road.
All right.
Now let's go with the vote. Mr. Young?
Yes.
Farmer?
Aye.
Yes.
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 That's unanimous. 10 votes, can you imagine that? We got 10 votes.
Yeah.
It's been
It's been a
years.
while since we had 10.
All right, thank you all. I'll just read that or sign it. All right, so item B, we need to set a public hearing for sales tax allocation. This is every year. If you all remember, this one like part, board presents their budget and request for sales tax. We'll set that for May 21st. Is that typically the council meeting or is
Well,
that?
that's a public rezoning. You get
Usually a public hearing before the council meeting.
We're gonna have to do about 5:15. No, I'm sorry, not 5:15, 5:30. 5:30.
on the 21st.
Yes, we've gotta do that because budget's gotta be completed the next month. We need to have that hearing.
Okay.
So council, please be there for 5:30 for the hearing, both hearings. Yes, ma'am. Next meeting date. Okay,
I'm sorry, Mr. Mayor.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that also when like VNA and Helping Hand and everyone come in and make, so
Yes.
the clerk will notify them of that? Okay, thank you.
okay, in your packet, you have CLGW's March expenses abstract. We need to, get a motion to pass.
Make that motion.
We have a second? Discussion? All in favor say aye. All opposed? Motion passes. We need to set a, public hearing for Huck's rezoning. We're gonna set that for 6 PM, March 21st,
Same date.
same day.
May.
May, my apologies. I'm over here trying to do this and that.
I didn't get to.
But I got a village here helping out, so that's what it takes. Appreciate it, everybody. Okay, item E is discuss receiving properties at 806 Ballard and 902 South Anthony. Is that gonna be a Victor? You want to come up, or Lance, or who's here to discuss?
I can.
All right, come on now.
I would.
Right, right.
Yeah, we had a hearing the other night, and these two properties, the gentleman that owned these properties brought their, well, one brought his title, and the other one said he had his at home, and that if we would take the property and take care of the property, the city could have it. So it's up to
Is
the
it the
city.
same individual that owns both of them?
No, no, two separate ones.
My opinion is if you take the property, you gotta deal with the property, but you could dispose of the property pretty quick. If we don't take it, we're gonna have to deal with the property by mowing it more likely. And
Does it have any structures on it?
Yes,
Either
both of them have houses.
they're both scheduled to be torn down.
Yeah, that was what the hearing was for.
Oh, got it. I got
Those
you.
two.
I got you.
The one at 802 Ballard, it's a small lot.
806?
806, I'm sorry. It's a small lot. I don't know by our ordinances, zoning ordinances, I believe that someone could build back on the same footprint within 1 year after it's demolished.
Right.
The other lot on Anthony Street is a larger lot. And it may be, it backs up to the South Haven
Okay.
there.
That big white house?
Is that the one that burned?
Yes.
I would recommend to the council accept the lots and then either offer them to the neighbors at our cost, if we got in the property, or put it for sale, put a realtor and put it for sale out there for our cost.
What does it cost us to clean up? And
I
have
know
it
I've not
pop up?
got bids, it's usually between $8,000 and $12,000.
Yeah, if we own it, we can control it, otherwise we can't. They grow it up and do whatever they wanna do.
Well, if it grows up, then we'll have to write an abatement, we'll still have to mow it.
Yeah.
And we're gonna check on some pricing on demos. That's
Yeah.
what we discussed about 6 to
Okay.
8 months ago.
Okay.
But one thing, you might want to think about on, like 806 Ballard, which is, gonna be difficult to sell because of the small size of the lot, is if we offer it to the adjoining landowners, you can offer it to where they don't have to pay anything for a certain number of years as long as they keep it up. And that way we ensure that it's kept up. Or at least
And we're not out the
ensure
cost
better
of
than usual.
And that's a corner, so there are two different properties that are butted.
I believe that both adjoining properties are rental properties, but we still have an owner.
Yeah, it's still, we can convey it to them with the vision that, you know, you have to keep it up for a certain number of years, or we'll take it back. That usually gives them some incentive to keep it clean.
So with that being said, do we want to move forward with acquiring the properties, or do we want to?
I'd make a motion that the city accepts the property as, kind of like we discussed the other night, you know, both of them give them to us, and then we could decide later what to do, you know, before we give them away, like Terry had said, or whatever. I make a motion that the city accepts the property.
We have a motion to accept the property. Do we have a second? Brian? Discussion? All in favor say aye. All opposed?
And we can get started on the process, the acceptance process. We've already done a title search.
Yes.
Because we do the title search before we do anything to demolish. So we've already done the title search.
The only one is the Ballard, I've still not heard back from the, I forgot who it is, the one that had the lien, that we've got the lien release, and I've faxed all that information to them,
The
but I've
bank.
not heard anything back.
Yeah, that's right, the bank, yeah. Yeah, but the owner has a copy of the release. The bank says they can't find it if the owner has a copy of the release, so, that's.
Is it being recorded?
Hmm?
Is it being recorded?
Should have been, the bank should have done it, but.
The one that the
We
owner's
can-
got?
We can do it. I mean,
Okay.
it's not gonna be a big problem.
Okay. Just making sure.
Well, the vote's been made and we're set. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, item F, now this issue of the Animal Control Commission was brought to our attention last meeting. It appears to be an old ordinance that's not in use, and we have not put it in use in quite some time. So what I'm asking you all is, either we need to have an ordinance that we will enforce and do, or we need to remove it. Or you all can revise it, but we need to make a change with this particular ordinance. And if you're all in favor of that, kind of guide our city attorney to do that, we can present it to you at the next council meeting. But right now, we have no animal control commission or even can form one with the way it's stated.
It's, as it's set up, it hasn't been, nothing's been done in 35 years. Since 1987, I think was when it was set up, I think. And I think I think the Humane Committee can probably take care of any duty that the Animal Control Commission does, because that's what it's been doing for the last, I'd say, at least 35 years.
We can revise it, just remove the commission and put the humane department.
Yeah, but I can do that.
go with the current system's working.
Everybody good with that? Any objections? Yeah, we'll present the next council.
Yeah,
meeting.
we don't need to vote on it tonight.
All right. Okay, we've got a little small list. The chamber, I don't think you mentioned it, about the Lions Club.
No, I didn't bring it up.
We have ribbon cutting, that everyone, council, if you could attend on, Friday, May 17th at 11:30 a.m. It's for the Lions Club Dog Park. It's located in Indian Park. And,
May 17th.
May 17th, 11:30.
I think you all should have gotten an invitation in your email.
Yes, I've seen one. I was double checking with the date.
Lance, you talked about the weather. Anything else about the weather? No? I remind you, like I
That's
told you I
what
wasn't.
that's what we're looking at right now. No, everything's.
Mayor,
Yes, and Christian, would you care to send the notice up to the clerk's office? And she can also broadcast that out to the council also, just in case there's a different email address being used. Yes, sir.
While you're talking about the weather,
Councilmember Dry asked a question. Best I can find out, the FEMA building during school hours will, the children will be put in there first and then be open to the public until it's full. After hours, it'll be open to the public until it's full, first come, first served. Couldn't get a number on how many it holds. Any other
So
thing
does
you
the
would have
school
to
still
talk?
have charge of it after hours too, Lance?
I'm
Yes,
assuming
yeah,
they will.
they have full control.
Anything other than that, you have to get a hold of.
Okay.
Superintendent to find out. That's all I can
Thank you.
get.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Pete? Today, a group of us, 6 individuals, we attended a Missouri Municipal League meeting in Poplar Bluff, concerning economic development. I think it was very informative, good for our city, and I appreciate the council members, Tyler, y'all being there. And final, got word that University of Missouri Photoshop will be coming to Kennett, and what this is really a neat event. So every year they pick, I think they've been doing this for 76 years. Every year they pick a city in Missouri, and they come in with around about 80 photojournalists from all over the world. And it's a really in that industry, it's really a high honor to be a part of this. And they pick Kennett. They come in and they'll create a book similar to this, but it'll be stories all about Kennett. These 80 journalists will fan out across the city. They'll find their own story, and they'll take pictures and create a book like this. And so that many people will be staying in our local hotel rooms. That's one thing they really take pride in, is staying in our community. Restaurants, hotels, Walmart, shops, all that will be visited. And that's some high income earners, and it'll help our local economy out greatly. This will occur during Fair Week of all times. So it's going to be, I told them it'd be a great time for them. Gary Figgins and Melissa and myself, we took them throughout town and showed them this about a month to a couple months ago. They were very pleased with Kennett. We're going to have a Saturday. They have exhibits, and they'll exhibit the entire, on bigger pictures, big exhibit of their work. And that will be done at the new fire station, right there at the fair, so there'll be a lot of people there, and it's going to be really a nice occasion for Kennett to show Kennett. They did say they'll have a lot of good stories. They will also have the true stories. So just word out there, and I'll leave it at that. But
Was it here for the Derby?
yeah, the Derby. Luckily Saturday will be coming up by then.
They've maybe never seen anything like that.
Yeah, so I think it's very good for Kennett going forward. We also had a ribbon cutting at Scott Duckland, very nice facility. So there's I think Kennett's got a lot of possibilities, a lot of good news that's about to come, and it's happening right now. All right. Anything else, the new business that we need to bring to the council? If not any, we need to move into public comments. Anyone who wishes to speak to council? Mr. Crafton, would you please come up and state your address, please?
Yeah, Frank Crafton's my name. I'm bought a piece of property over on Veteran Street. I'm in the process of redoing it, cleaning it up. I'm gonna go ahead and try to get the whole block cleaned up over there. I've had, several people that's actually come up to where I'm working, wonder what they can do to help. And, but right now, I went through the whole chain of command from all the guys in code. Everyone has been great up at the office. They've been great. But council member, when they looked at everything for me, my house is surrounded by a dump in Kennett, Missouri, right across from the American Legion building. I wish that all of you would drive by there and see what I'm talking about. The man called, I've been dealing with him, he's got 22 properties in Kennett, and the property he lives in, I would not put my dog in it. He's actually living there with the roof falling inside the house. And every place he's got is a dump. And there's no, I went there as far as I can go, and it seems to me that I've asked for help, what I do next. We don't have any ideas.
Mr. Crafty, could you repeat the block that you're cleaning up? I'm sorry, I missed that.
It's on the corner of Veteran and Lily, or Lee, Lily. The guy called me, he called me wanting to know about getting some metal I had put out. I said, yes, be sure, just take it all when you get it, take it all. He said, I got some people moving in the house next door. I said, behind me? He said, no, right beside you on Veteran Street. And I said, but that house, we have a floor in it. No electricity, no plumbing, no nothing in it. Now, how in the hell is someone gonna live in that? And I'm afraid whenever I picked the window was no window in it. They pulled the mattress out of the backyard. It's in the living room. They got the mattress in there. They had a wooden crater table with cigarette butts all over it. We set them up there and they burned out until they burned out black on the tables on the wood. And I went over this morning to do some work inside the property on plumbing. And there's a grocery cart in the front yard over there at the house. And I guess folks there are sleeping, but at least they got sheets now. But now, how can we have that in our city? I don't know if it's something the health department can do about it, or what. I mean, where do these guys want a bathroom at?
Victor, are you aware of that property?
Yes, yes, we are.
I mean, and
It's
the one
been,
behind it, there's no windows in it, the doors are kicked out, it's just trash. I mean,
Are there any violation tickets written?
Yes.
they write them up all the time, but it don't do any good.
Well, it's one of those situations where you can't put them in jail, there's no money to fix anything. We had the owner of those properties in court last Wednesday. Through the court, we were going to try to get some type of assistance to them, or to him, to clean up his properties. We're looking for some type of state assistance or something. And the owner is a disabled veteran. There might be something, we're looking into that. But again, we had him in court last Wednesday.
This guy you're talking about, he's a veteran, of course, I'm a veteran also.
I understand.
But he is playing the system 100%. He was inherited 22 properties when his grandfather died. He had a silver spoon in his mouth, and it's been over a year, y'all, since I started on this project. Since March of last year, and it's not getting any better, it's getting worse.
Well, like I said, we had him in court Wednesday. We're starting on trying to find something to help get him cleaned up. And that started last Wednesday.
But I mean, what's it gonna be, another year?
I don't know how long it's going to be.
That's what I'm saying.
We don't know what's out there, but we're making the effort.
But I just don't.
Can we not make an ordinance that you can't live in something if you ain't got windows or doors or a bathroom or floors?
Or facilities, no water.
Like an occupancy.
I mean, I don't know what else to do, y'all.
I mean, that's a,
There's more properties out there like that.
oh yeah, there's lots of them. And that's,
You know, suffice it to say that.
I will say this, the council is exploring, is in discussion on the remedy, on help to remedy the situation with rental properties and properties in our town. We're trying to find all options, but I think there's a plan coming together that will that will benefit